Dear Mr. Rangoon, we hereby regret to inform you that... No! Another rejection letter? I don't get it. This is supposed to be the land of opportunity, but... Well, I've got plenty of marketable skills employees should be crawling over each other for, like, lots of them, and... Oh... You there, Jim?
Oh, that is amazing. That is a fascinating tale. You have definitely earned yourself some cookies.
Jim, who is that?
Oh, that's the roommate.
And he is...
A masked superhero.
Oh, you mean like how every now and again Trent dresses up and pretends he's a Ghostbuster?
Oh, no. This is his job.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, he was just telling me about his latest exploit. He just vanquished a chupacabra that was running a protection racket right here in our very neighborhood.
Wow. What's the superhero name?
The roommate.
Jim, why didn't you mention that your roommate was a superhero sooner?
Didn't seem important.
Didn't seem... Look, don't you get it? He's a superhero. We're locked in a struggle with a villain. We can sick him on the mysterious malefactor.
I don't know. The roommate usually only uses his great powers to fight great injustice.
What could be more unjust than us having to watch these horrible short films?
Having to watch us watch these horrible short films, if our blip TV view counts for any indication.
Jim, our fourth wall is threadbare as it is, and... Oh!
That was awesome!
Case in point.
You make a good argument. Hey, roommate! There's villainy afoot! Indeed, find it and bring swift mass justice! You balance those cosmic scales, you crazy kid.
So how long will it take to get results?
10 minutes or so is the average.
That's about as long as it'll take to watch this short. How to keep a job.
What a convenient coincidence!
Whoa! I'm more interested in keeping my lunch.
John N. Given. His middle name is No, and his nickname is
Love, Bain Capital.
A note? Was he fired from the 5th grade? Well, guess I'm visiting that clock tower sooner than I expected.
Ambitious young man for sale. Slightly used.
Contact George Reekers. He'll never get old. Oh, hey, check it out on the bottom. His father's deceased.
Nah, that's just what Obi-Wan told him.
Edward W. Cullen.
Stay together, butt cheeks. Hold it in.
I notice you're not a sweatshop full of Chinese children. Explain this.
This looks all right. Tell me, why are you interested in this job?
I need a steady job, Mr. Wiley, with a chance to go places.
Well, there is this roadrunner out in the desert I need taken care of.
The Central Distributing Company. You worked there for 18 months?
Yes, sir.
Why did you leave?
Fired.
Because I wasn't getting anywhere.
Very fired.
After 18 months, I figured I was worth more than they were paying me.
Incredibly fired.
And I figured I was ready for promotion to more important work.
Fired.
I see.
Honest, Mr. Wiley, it was a rotten company.
Flashing neon sign that says fired.
Tell me, were you fired?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yes, I was. But it wasn't my fault.
Need a
The
shovel
company
there,
just
Eddie?
up and started firing people. Retrenching, they called it. What do you think of that?
I'm all for it.
I think it's a pretty normal situation.
What?
A business has to live within its income.
If lower-class futures need sacrificing, so be
Many
it.
factors affect that income. Sales, general economic conditions,
My in-ground
the development
pool.
of new industries that replace old ones.
And by old ones, we mean
For
people.
these and many other reasons, businesses often go
Whoa,
through
back up.
Whoa,
Slow down,
no,
slow, not
no,
so
no,
close.
too close.
Organizations when they're forced to let people go.
I didn't do anything. Why me?
You're marked
You
by
said that in
Satan,
18
Ed.
months you hadn't gotten anywhere.
That's right. Other fellows who started later were promoted right over my head.
How much warning do you need?
I mean, how
Couldn't you
dumb
see
are
the
you?
company valued the other fellow's services above yours?
But I thought I was doing fine. What did I do?
Do you expect me to answer that?
No, sir.
I'd like to phone
I
a
guess you
friend,
wouldn't
sir.
know.
Actually, I probably do know. Better than you do.
I could read your soul as well as bilocate.
I have no business taking time for this, but... Well, I can't help thinking you might really amount to something if you'd set your mind to it. Try to see yourself as your employer saw you.
As expendable as
Better still.
Kleenex.
Let me give you a picture of a case I really do know. It's about a young man who came to work in our shipping room here. And another young man.
2 young men in
Now,
shipping.
we
To
begin
Tumblr!
work here at 8:30. That's the time to begin this business of keeping a job.
That's all they do? What are they,
And that's the
senators?
time Bob Addison began work every day. We could depend on him to be on time.
And to
And
keep
do
his
his
hair
work
shells
on time.
geometrically perfect.
You might call him an eager beaver.
Or an ass
But
kiss.
look at it from the employer's point of view. Wouldn't you like to have Bob working for you?
Oh, yes.
Dependability is one of the main keys to keeping a job and getting ahead.
Nepotism's a good one, too.
Now, dependability includes a willingness to work.
Sir, why can I see
Some
your
of the work in our
thoughts?
shipping room is hard work. That's why we've always had 2 fellows working there.
Plus, Bob's got arms weaker than a cocktail at a strip club.
Well, 2 fellows who were supposed to be working. The other fellow I want to tell you about is Walter, Bob's brother. Bob's twin brother.
His dearest dream is to join the
But the
Muppets.
resemblance is only
Walter
skin
is
deep.
Bob. Total Fight Club.
Look at
Calling
Walter
it now.
from the employer's point of view, and you see how not to keep a job. Look at him from Bob's point of view, and you
I
see
should
how
have
not to
subsumed
get
him in
along
the
with your fellow
womb.
workers.
And
On the other hand, Bob would be popular wherever he worked.
Until he revealed he liked watching
You know he would do
Brickleberry.
his
Ugh.
share of the work and help others who needed help. Cooperation is another way to keep a job.
for instance, if you give me $50, I don't can your ass. Everyone wins.
Walter finally decides to go to work, but a job he was supposed to do first thing. Actually, he was supposed to run them off the evening before.
Oh, they're just stay of
But
execution
he
notices.
put
What's
it
the
off.
rush?
This is how not to be dependable. How not to cooperate with the company and with your fellow workers. in
How
your
not
own
to be
and
seen.
other departments. Poor Walter. Who should come into the shipping room but me?
He walked funny for
The
weeks
boss
after this.
always seems to find out. Walter's manner gave him away.
As did his cloven hooves.
Now, it isn't hard to learn to make good, clean copies on a duplicating machine. And this wasn't the first time I'd had to criticize
Sir,
Walter
why am I
for
using
making
this
poor
thing? I mean,
copies.
can't we get a
And
Xerox?
it wasn't the first
Sir, it's
time he tried to
1993.
alibi his way out of a situation. The fact was, Walter just couldn't take criticism.
Or a punch.
Yet how can a man expect to improve on a job if he won't listen to the very people who can help him?
Yep, martini time.
Just before closing time,
A shot
you'll
rang
find
out.
Bob getting the shipping room ready for the night.
Every piece of tape must be perfectly aligned.
And you'll find Walter getting himself ready.
Applying a thick
So
coat
he
of
won't be a second
10W30
late
to his
punching the
scalp.
clock. An employer sees this as a sure sign that a man isn't really interested in his work.
Work should be your sole-defining trait.
I ask you,
Morton
if you were the employer and had to cut down your staff, which fellow would you keep?
That's not hard to answer.
I'd keep a little of both.
Why didn't you go ahead and fire this, Walter?
Now, don't be too hasty. I'm only telling you about Walter's bad points.
And wondering how
He did
many of
enough
you it
work
would
to
take
hang
to
on to
screw in
his
a light
job.
bulb.
As long as times are good, there'll be jobs for fellows who just barely do enough to get by.
Like Congress.
But to keep a job when the going gets rough,
Or if I get
you
bored.
need to ensure your job. Make yourself so valuable your employer can't let you go.
Or promote you.
We've talked about dependability and cooperation.
For far longer than
Now,
any real
Another
interviewer
prime
would.
quality is initiative. And for once, I have something good to say for Walter.
He looked great in a leather ballerina outfit.
It's not hard to understand why he was unhappy whenever shipments were left just inside the door. The packages had to be hauled all the way across the room for wrapping, then hauled back again when they went out.
A grueling 5-foot trek rife with bandits and dragons.
If you don't like the way things are done, you can spend a lot of time complaining about it.
What? Really?
That was Walter's
Swell.
usual way. But this time, he got an idea.
This idea was revenge, and
knew
Walter
what to
was
do with
unusually creative in that regard.
In every company, there's plenty of room for improvement. And the management usually welcomes suggestions from employees. Walter's idea
no,
was
seriously.
That's cute.
So we adopted it.
Really? Tell me another one.
The company benefits through time saved and less handling of packages.
And those fewer employees
Fellows
went
in the
blind and
shipping
grew
room
hairy
benefits
paws.
through having one of their
Wait a
harder
minute.
jobs made easier. And Walter improved his standing with his employer by his display of initiative.
And package
But
handling.
one good mark isn't enough. One day, not long after, Walter was taking advantage of a lull in the work, and Bob was bringing the shipping records up to date when...
Oh, Bob's so super special awesome. Sheesh, why don't you just marry Bob?
What you got there? Shipment for you. Wise guy.
Regular Winston Churchill here.
Well, finally. The stuff they've been running in here asking about every hour for the last 3 days.
They could buy toilet paper at the corner store, but
That's the way it is in this
no.
company. They wait till they've run out of something, and everybody runs around like crazy. No system. And nobody in charge with enough brains to start one.
Still,
What a way
it
to
beats
run a
working on Duke
business.
Nukem Forever.
You don't like the company. Why do you work for it?
It's a nookie.
Me, I work for a swell outfit. I'm proud of them.
Maybe I'd like to work for them. Could they use me?
What for?
Vice President of Proactive Whining?
A press agent? Yes, Walter found out that nobody thinks very much of a man who talks against the company he works for.
Stew in your impotent rage like a good
And what
American.
did Walter gain by making that false statement about his company? Nothing. Except trouble for himself if it got back to his employer. Which it did.
Snitches get stitches.
I guess it's not very different from the way I was talking to you about the place where I used to work.
Asshats
Well, there's a
Incorporated.
saying, if the shoe fits.
Oh, the shoe fits all right. You knew it would, didn't you? Yep, I could see my shortcomings all over the place.
Just like my brains
Dependability,
in 5 minutes.
Initiative, cooperation, and loyalty. I could have done a lot better on every count.
You can do better.
Let me show you this book called Dianetics.
Yes, sir.
Wow, it's just like my psychic visions
Bob, I've got a
revealed
new
to me.
assistant for you. Bob Addison, this is Ed Blakesley.
Hi, Ed. Glad to meet you.
I love you.
Bob's a good man to watch. As soon as he trains somebody to take over here, he's moving up to assistant purchasing manager.
Say, that's great.
Okay,
Mr. Wiley's
that's
been
great.
telling me about
Really,
you and
Starch?
your brother.
Sorry, I panicked.
My brother?
Yeah, your twin brother, Walter.
Sharp as a bull.
I had
Nice.
a point to make, so I invented a twin brother for you.
Called it.
You see,
I
in
owe
this
you a
twin
Coke.
of Bob's, I was really describing Bob's poor conduct on the job when he first came to work here.
So your whole
You mean the
spiel
way I
on
was
work ethics
loafing
was
on the job
predicated
around
on a
here
lie?
before.
Honesty is
I get
conditional.
it. And then you... Well, if you can...
Finish my
Say,
sentences.
Mr. Wiley, did I ever tell you about my twin brother?
They have him locked up in the Bastille.
Coronet Instructional Films. Up yours, Riff Tracks.
Well, I'm baffled and bewildered, and I doubt any of that's going to help with my egregious unemployment.
Oh, well, on the upside, I don't think we have to worry about these short films anymore. Hey, the roommate! So, you find that great injustice? I can explain. No.
Dear Lord, never before in recorded history have we seen one man beaten, no, I dare say pounded so badly by another. The unrestrained brutality, the sheer horror. At this time I must request any pregnant women or small children viewing, please, please avert your eyes. Look away from the television, please. Just leave the room. Oh, the brutal display of senseless violence, the horror, the carnage. This is a beating of biblical proportions.
Hey, Pipples, if you liked our nonsense, why not give us a like, or a subscribe, or leave a comment down there somewhere?
You can also do us a big solid by joining our Patreon, where you'll get to join us for live streams, get early access to the newest videos, and other such things.
Geek Vision.